Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Today we are joined by Josh Blair. Josh, welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
So why don't we start this by you telling us a little bit about yourself and what you guys do at Consul Software?
Sure. So I am lead software engineer for Consul Software. We're located in Denver, Colorado in the US, and we build a SaaS product that is used by housing authorities, both the Native American tribal housing authorities and also public housing authorities. So I kind of ran some numbers just to have some data for you. And I think that we are serving about over 100,000 units. We have over 200 housing authorities as customers. And across all those housing authorities, I think there are roughly between 100 and 150,000 units that are under our management. And our software helps housing authorities manage all their data as far as programs, projects, units, households or tenants, the household makeup. It handles rent calculations, mortgage calculations. It handles all the payments and transactions for households, as well as all the vendors for the housing authority. So the housing authority hires vendors. So we have that angle of the business. Our software helps with managing their inspections, so unit inspections. And also when there's an issue with the unit, typically a work order will be generated from that. And we have a SaaS product that is web-based. We also have mobile apps that help with inspections and work orders.
That's a lot of use cases, Josh, I must say. What's the biggest trends that you're seeing right now across software industry?
Well, as far as software in general, a lot of shakeup in the industry. I see tons of stuff about AI. AI is huge. It's changing by the minute. Each company is leapfrogging each other, trying to gain that foothold. As soon as something great comes out, something else beats it. It's in high transition. We're just trying to make sense of it. We're trying to leverage it to our advantage and to our customers' advantages. And then with AI and the current economy, it seems the tech market is a tough spot to be in for people looking for jobs, people losing their jobs through mass layoffs. So that has got me definitely a bit concerned.
My following question to that would be, how are you going to leverage AI in your software that you guys are developing?
So we do have a couple initiatives currently kind of ramping up. We did build a AgenTeq AI tool in some internal software that we have. It was a proof of concept and it worked really well. We used RAG to consume lots of console specific documents as well as also lots of HUD. So by the way, our software helps housing authorities be transparent to and adhere to the requirements of HUD. HUD stands for Housing and Urban Development. So we were able to add a lot of the HUD content to our RAG, and we could very quickly get answers that would have taken a lot of time for an individual to sift through all this government documentation. So that was a nice benefit. So I think that we could do more projects like that for our customers, where we can provide instant access to data that would be hard to gather just with normal search, normal tools that we're all used to. I think it's going to become much more mainstream for a lot of products to have this kind of stuff built in. And then from a dev team or our tech team, I should say, our developers, our data ops team, and our QA are all leveraging AgenTeq AI heavily.
Is there an interesting technical challenge that you faced quite recently and how you tackled that?
I run into that every day. This morning was no exception. I did a late night deployment last night for a new feature, very highly requested feature. I got everything verified in dev. I pushed it to QA. Our QA went through it a number of times. There was a little bit of back and forth, and then once QA signed off on it, we have an acceptance process. It made it all the way through all of our processes, and it got deployed. And there was an issue, and it was an issue that I'm using AI to help me with right now. Like right before we joined this call, AI is helping me determine what went wrong. So from that standpoint, I use it as a pair programmer sometimes. I use it as agentically to build stuff, but also to double check me, to kind of be a checks and balances on what I'm doing. So I find that very helpful. And like some tech companies, not all of our software has coverage, and I want to use AgenTeq AI to help round that out, completely, so that we can do the big deployments like this and have much more confidence. I mean, this is a pretty rare exception, but it was very timely that you asked that question. Like, how does AI help you? Well, it's like another team member. Sometimes, it can look at something I've done and say, well, you know, I I think the issue's around here, and then I can investigate further. So it's been super helpful for me. I use it a ton. My team is getting so good at it. We are definitely seeing some gains from both quality and output. It doesn't always save a ton of time on a large project, but it definitely helps me build, I think, more comprehensive solutions. It'll help me to surface edge cases that I might not have thought of. It can actually save some of the back and forth, so that feedback loop that could be expensive from a time standpoint and resource standpoint. I think it's cutting that down a lot. So yeah, pretty excited about it.
What technological stack are you running in terms of like AI? Do you use Cloud Code or
Great question. So
codecs?
we currently have a team license set up for codecs. I've been using windsurf, which is a different kind of a tool, but it works in both the editors that I use. I use both Visual Studio based editor and JetBrains writer, because all my back end is in C Sharp, and we're an AWS shop, an Amazon Web Services shop. So I build a lot of lambda API RESTful endpoints and GraphQL endpoints in C Sharp, and so the windsurf plugin works in writer, and the windsurf forked a version of Visual Studio, VS Code, and that has writer built into it. So I use both of those exclusively. I am playing with Claude Code. I'm trying codecs too, because the team kind of settled on that. But I was a bigger fan of some of the other ones, like Claude Code and windsurf. I also do so much AWS work. I'm also working with Cairo. I don't know if you've heard of Cairo yet, but it's another one it's put out by AWS.
I always like to ask this question. Josh, if you had a magic wand, right, what would you change about your guys' industry or just cancel in general?
That's a great question. Let me think about that a little bit. We have a very small team, and I would love if we each had a little more time for each project, so that we could spend time thinking about the optimum solution. Instead of being so constrained with tight deadlines and very tight resources. Our team is a total of 6 developers. We have enough work for 40 developers. And we're trying to cram 8 pounds of stuff in a 2-pound sack. You know what I mean? So it would be great, I think, for everyone on the team, if we could each take a little bit more time on each project. That would help us build better solutions, and also help to ramp up on some new concept. Instead of rushing through it, getting it done, to be able to spend time and really absorb the 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 complexity that we're fighting with. That would be nice. I think AI is helping, certainly. I think we have a few more big features that we're working on, and as soon as we get those to the finish line, that's supposed to help us unlock a lot of revenue. And I hope with that, um, we would probably bring on some more resources. We do a lot of mentoring, and the team is very cohesive, so we help each other a ton. As a lead software developer, I help all the developers, but juniors help me all the time. There's no pecking order. We're just trying to all be productive, be helpful to one another. I love that part. I would love to be able to grow the team, maybe double it. I would say maybe specialize in front end and back end, because right now we're all full stack. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking.
As a lead software engineer, could you say what kind of skills do you think are the most essential for your role specifically?
Sure. So we have been in a modernization phase for over 5 years, maybe 6 or 7 years. So number one, having a understanding of the entire stack, all the old stuff and the new stuff. We're breaking apart a monolith, so that's part of our modernization strategy. So we're using kind of the strangler pattern, and building new stuff in a modern way. We're transitioning older features into that new paradigm. We're scaling out in AWS, which is helping with our larger customers, specifically some of the public housing authorities are quite large. So that's a big effort too. And just be able to keep your eye on the surface level and then that higher level view, having a comprehensive understanding how everything works together, being able to troubleshoot, being able to look at a problem and apply some of the architectural patterns that we have already put in place the right way, the right tool for the job. Basically, that's a skill. A lot of things can be done multiple ways, but some ways will bite you weeks or months or years later. And we're learning from our own mistakes, honestly.
That was a very, very good answer, I think, actually. For people that are listening right now and would like to check you out, or maybe Kenzo, actually, where should they go?
Well, they can reach the Consul website at consoulsoftware.com. Conso spelled Kanso. It's a Japanese word that means simple. So our software, the whole idea behind our software is to make this very complex problem domain or business domain easier to deal with. So the people that use our software are typically serving those individuals who need assistance. They're helping with low income housing and vouchers and all these different programs. And basically, the software that we build helps those people help those who need a lot of help. So that was a terrible way to say it. We serve those who serve the underserved.
Well, thank you, Josh, for coming on the podcast and spreading words about Kenzo, and we'll see you in the next one.
Absolutely. It was great to meet you. Thanks so much.